word that kind of comes spewing out of my mouth without question is no.
Yeah.
Don't. Bad in Barbara Coloroso's...
we just say it too often.
Yeah.
We say, Mom, can I have a cookie? No, it'll spoil your supper. Dad, can I go over to Jamie's house? No. Mom, can I have the car keys? No. Dad, can I stay out all night? No. They don't take us seriously.
What part of no don't you understand?
That's a brick wall, yes. A good brick wall response. They never take us seriously on the big one when we really need to say no. If we keep changing our minds on the little ones or say no all the time. One little boy, somebody said, what's your name? He said, No Johnny. I mean, he really believed his name was No Johnny. But there are 3 alternatives you can use instead of saying no right away. So if you need to say no, you can say it, mean it, and follow through with it. The first alternative, Mom, can I have a cookie? Yes, later. So you invite a yes and a later. It's hard to fight a no, yes later. But that little 5-year-old says, but I'm so hungry. Okay, have a cookie. It's already later at least 3 seconds. But most importantly, you didn't change a no to a yes. It was a yes all along. Right. And don't say and make sure you eat your supper, because what are you going to do if they don't? Get the cookie back? I mean, the threats we make. Second alternative, Dad, can I go over to Jamie's? Give me a minute. There is nothing wrong as a parent to ask for a moment to develop your own plan. And I've always said to my kids, you need an answer right now, it's no. If you can wait a little bit, maybe. And they're more willing to wait a little bit.
I try sometimes, we'll see, and they go, whoo-hoo, that means yes.
Yeah.
They know that if it's not no, it's yes.
There's a chance. There's a good chance.
That arbitrary rules, grounding, for example. You just see this as
Can I give you this third alternative so they don't wonder what it
absolutely.
is?
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
The third alternative is really the one which we can get into grounding with, too. It's the one I use with adolescents. Mom, can I have the car keys? Convince me. Huh? Why should I spend all my energy at my age trying to convince my adolescent she can't have the car keys? Let her expend all her youthful energy convincing me why she should. But Mom, my friends, not convinced. Mom, you let Maria, not convinced. You don't give me the car keys, you got to take all of us to play practice. I'm convinced. And then when your 16-year-old says, can I stay out all night? The good line's no. They need limits and boundaries. I work with pregnant teens and runaways and juvenile delinquents. I've yet to meet one of them not begging somebody to say no. Give them limits and boundaries. Say you're important enough. And that's where the grounding comes in. Yes. I don't use grounding. My son, when he was in 7th grade, came home and said, Mom, what's grounding? My father's an electrician. I proceeded to explain to him what grounding meant. He said, no, my friend can't go out for 6 weeks. I said, oh, because he'd never heard that, because we don't do it. Again, it's punishment. It's something I'm doing to a kid. Discipline, on the other hand, invites a response from a kid. For instance, you say you need to come home in time for dinner. Kid comes home late. Brick wall parent doesn't start with grounding first. He says, okay, logical consequence, no supper. You don't eat till breakfast, which is punishment. And then the kid says, I got enough food in my room. Young man with that kind of lip, you're grounded for 6 weeks. So now you got him home for 6 weeks because he didn't show up in time for dinner. Has not solved his showing up on time for dinner. The jellyfish parent says, oh honey, those noodles are terribly soggy now. Let me fix you some new ones. Parents from a brick wall family are going to say, fat chance, woman. But a backbone parent looks at a kid and says, you're late for dinner. If they're old enough to be late for dinner, they're old enough to eat it cold, heat it up, or fix something else and clean up your mess. I use the French term, répondez s'il vous plaît. Please respond. Consequences need to be 4 things. RSVP. Reasonable, simple, valuable, and practical. They should be more work for the kid than they are for you. And you say, okay, but what if he's still late the next day? Then I say to the kid, you have a problem, and I know you can handle it. Always believing the child can handle it. And I say, do you need a watch? Do you need some kind of reminder to get home on time? Because I don't think the kid's staying over at his friend saying, you know, I think I'm going to drive my mother batty. I think I'm going to be late for dinner. No, they're out having a great time. But do you need some kind of structure so that you can be on time? And you talk to the kid about, it's really important. It's the only meal we share together. It's got to make sense why you want them. But then what if they're still late? That's the one that parents say, yeah, but I got an ornery kid, still going to be late. Then I said to him, you know what? You've been late 3 times this week. And I really need you to be home on time for dinner, because as a family, we need to have this only time together. So the next 2 days, when you come home from school, you need to stay home. Now, you can bring your friends over. This is not punishment. You can bring your friends over to play, but I would like you to be here for dinner. And during these 2 days, you have a job to do. I want you to be thinking about next Monday. when you get to go out to your friends again, how you're going to handle it, because I believe you can. Do you see the difference there, empowering a kid, saying, you know what, I believe you can do it, kid. We have to tighten up the limits and boundaries when you keep blowing it.